It's officially peak week and I am so excited. We are actually already one day in. Today is Sunday and I can't believe we made it to peak week. This has been like the hardest last few weeks or like 4 weeks that I've ever had in the prep. So I'm feeling optimistic about the progress so far. I know I was like really down about not making progress or not feeling like I'm making progress or not seeing it on the scale. But I had a refeed on Friday night, and yesterday I woke up feeling amazing. I had dropped a half a pound, and then today I dropped 2 pounds, which always puts me in a good mood, even if I'm like feeling low energy. So I'm feeling good about that. Obviously, still above weight of my last preps, all of them. But again, I have more muscle and I'm trying not to like do the comparison, just trying to do like go by what my coach says, how I look. So we are water loading. Yesterday we had 2 gallons of water. Today we have 2 gallons of water. Then I go down to 1.75 gallons, 1.5 gallons, 1 gallon, and then just like sips on show day. And this is like an old school method of like peak week protocol, but and every time I'm doing it, I actually like don't look forward to it. I hate it. And always the first day of drinking 2 gallons of water, I feel like a little sick, like nauseous, and I'm like scared to get water poisoning. But we keep doing it because every single time, like my body just really loves it. So like now today is the second day and I'm actually like thirsty, even though I'm drinking so much water. So I think my body just really likes water loading, and I think it brings in like the right look for me as we approach show day. So we stick with what we know works and that's just how it is. So we dropped calories yesterday to 1,000. Basically, I just cut out most carbs except what I'm getting from like some little vegetables and like, other stuff. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty tough just trying to operate on no carbs virtually and a lot less food. But, I'm still going to push through. I still have an hour of cardio. I did it already this morning, did it yesterday, so now I have Monday and Tuesdays left to go, and I'm dreading it already just because of the low energy. And also I can't have like any artificial sweeteners, so I can't have like a Celsius or pre-workout or anything to give me that extra boost of energy that I've been using when I need it, which is a lot lately. So that's about it. I am just getting in from like laying out in the backyard. I find that like just sitting in the sun and just like listening to music is such a good way for me to decompress. I just feel like my stress washes away, or my anxiety, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm feeling great. I'm going to go shower and just get some stuff done around here. But yeah, I'm excited to power through the next few days. And I love that the show is on Friday, so it comes a lot sooner than waiting for Saturday. But yeah, that's it. So let's hit this peak week strong and see how everything goes. It's Tuesday of peak week, and I officially have 3 more days of peak week. And To be honest, I am super struggling. I I have like absolutely zero energy for anything. I have zero passion for anything like work or a client, like any literally or working out, like nothing. Not there. I don't want to do anything. I just am like it takes almost too much energy to care about something. And it's not like I'm starving. I'm not like craving or like wanting food, but I feel like I'm a couple levels past that where just I don't feel well on the inside. Like I just feel like I'm a slug just getting through the day. But that's not a complaint. I'm just like putting it out on the table. Like that's how I feel. It's probably the worst I felt in any prep, with exception of my first. But this is the sacrifice to be stage lean in the sport. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. And we've tried coming in a little bit softer for the show, where I had more carbs like during peak week. But the judges don't like me like that. They like me lean. And so lean is what we're going to give them. So I'm officially like at, I think today, 25 or 30 carbs. I just had breakfast. It's actually 10:30. I'm moving so slow. Like I woke up at 6:30, stretched, hung out with my husband before he left for work, did my fasted cardio. I was only going to do 30 minutes this morning and then 30 minutes later because I was just dragging, but I ended up getting it all done. It was my last cardio session of this prep, so I was motivated for that reason, just to be like done with it, thankfully. And now finally at 10:30 I'm eating breakfast. So, and it was so little too. It was just basically some protein powder with 10 grams of oats and 10 grams of peanut butter. But I mean, it was really good. But yeah, it was definitely not enough. So I am getting ready to head to the gym for maybe my last weight workout. I might do one at the hotel, just like a full body lightweight circuit on Thursday before the show, just to get my blood going. And usually I'm like kind of bored on the day before the show. So I might do that, but I'm going to head to the gym. My flight tomorrow is like at 7 a.m. So I have to prepare everything today. So I need to get my food, prepare the food, cook it, package it, pack my bag, all my show stuff. So that is going to be today. I'm doing some laundry, and then I will be flying by myself tomorrow. My husband has to work, so he will take the red eye tomorrow night and meet me on Thursday morning. And that's basically it. If you guys are in prep and you're struggling, just know you're not alone. I don't know. There's comfort in knowing that you're not alone, but it's what you need to sacrifice. It's what we need to do in order to bring our best physiques to the stage. And this show, being on the East Coast, makes me a little anxious just because I feel like on the West Coast, there's a certain look of competitors, and the same is true for the East Coast, in that they are, I don't know, they just have a certain look. And so coming from the West to the East, I just hope that, I am bringing my best package, which I've worked really hard to do. And I don't know, I just hope that everything goes well. The last time I did a show on the East Coast, or the only time, was a natural show, and that did not go well. So I've mentioned it in previous videos, or maybe even in this one, that I have definite PTSD from that show in last November. And I just hope this one goes better, or else I will never compete on the East Coast again. But anyway, the good thing is that the scale continues to go down. So Saturday was the start of my peak week. Friday night I had a cheat meal or a refeed, and I basically just made like a salmon salad with some avocado, and I like air fried some frozen French fries, which that combination is my absolute favorite. So I usually like go out to eat for my refeed, but I just did not have the energy, and cooking it at home was actually way better. Like I enjoyed it so much. And then Saturday I woke up and I had lost, I think, a half a pound, and then the next day 2 pounds, and then half a pound since. So it's great to see that the scale is finally moving. Literally waits for me to be like almost on my deathbed for it to start making progress, but I'm happy to see some movement on the scale, and definitely well into the 130s now, which is normally how I like show up to stage, is like 135 to 132. So I feel like I'm on the right track, and that will be good. And that's basically it. I looked at the roster for the show and it's pretty stacked. So the classes that I'm doing, which is 40 plus and open, last year there were like 25 people in each of those. So my goal is really to get my pro card, of course, if I'm being honest, but really I'd be happy with a top 5 placing. I mean, I think like even that top 5 out of 25 girls is like, you know, I try to envision myself in that place. I do every single night when I go to bed, like think about myself on stage, think about me in that top 5 competing for first place, competing for my pro card. And I think that's really helpful. And so I'm just going to continue to do that and give myself like positive vibes. And I know it sounds so stupid, but like tell myself like I deserve it. You know, I've worked really hard for it. I am just as deserving as any other woman out up there. And why not me? So I have a lot of like imposter syndrome. I think a lot of women suffer from that, but I am really trying to change my mind frame to why not me? Why can't I do it? I've worked so hard. I've left no stone unturned, with exception of doing, you know, PEDs. I have like done every single thing that I can, not just for this prep, but leading up to this point to get my physique ready for the national stage and to be as competitive as I can. So that's really like my self inner monologue when I'm not like super exhausted, but when I have like some energy to like really try to pump myself up, that's what I'm telling myself. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but we head to New Jersey tomorrow. Check-ins are on Thursday, show day on Friday, and then vacation mode after that and a little bit of a break. I'm off to the gym now for an upper body workout. I'll probably combine back and shoulders, just a little bit of a pump, and use every ounce of energy I have for that. So wish me luck. Just prepped all my meals that I will need for my travel tomorrow and for Thursday and Friday, which is the show day. So I cooked a bunch of tilapia. I hope this is enough. I actually didn't really like calculated it out. Normally I have like exactly the protein I'm going to eat at what times when I'm traveling or before the show, but I think we may reduce protein a little bit this time. So I have plenty, I'm sure. So that is that. And then I made a bunch of rice. Again, I just didn't measure it out. I just packed a bunch. I doubt I will eat all this rice, but it's better safe than sorry. And especially because you never know how late the shows are going to run. And this is a pretty big show. So I was stuck doing one show. I think it was Tahoe last year, where we didn't go on stage. Bikini didn't go on stage until 10 p.m. and I did not have enough food. So I was like stringy. I just did not bring my best physique for finals. Luckily, I still did well, but I do not want to be in that position again. Rice is cheap, so if I waste it, I waste it. But I cooked it and I just put it in like a plastic baggie to make it easy to carry. And then I packed some oats. I will eat this likely on Thursday morning and Friday morning, and then hopefully like Saturday morning before we leave, I can have some as well. Just a packet of protein powder. So if I do have oats on Saturday morning for breakfast, I can mix in the protein powder. I have some salt-free rice cakes, some almonds, some avocados that I will use as my fats, both of those, and some peanut butter for my oats. Some stevia, of course. I love this Trader Joe's stevia, so for my coffee, it's perfect. I packed my vitamins, my scale, portable scale, and then usually after the show, I love to have a protein bar, so I have like these no-cow protein bars, and then these like no-cow, like little crispy treat things. And then just in case I feel like a dessert, I have a plant-based cookie, protein cookie. And then I made my meals for tomorrow, so just tilapia with some mushrooms for one meal, tilapia with green beans for another 2 meals, and then because I didn't want to have tilapia again, I just put a can of tuna in with some onions and some avocado. So I will pack these in my bag, which if you've joined me on other prep series before, you'll know like I have this insulated bag that I got on Amazon and I love it. It's just like so big, it holds everything and then some. I like absolutely love it. This is like my tried and true. I carry this on the plane with me, so because of that, the peanut butter, I think that's the only thing that can't go. Peanut butter will be in my suitcase, but it's just awesome to carry. So I will pack all of this in here, and in order to make it easy for me to remember what to bring, I make myself like a show day travel list, a checklist in my notes app, and I have everything I need for like the show and just in general in my suitcase, and then everything I need for food. So I can check it off as I go, which is really, really convenient. And so the only thing I'm missing is honey because I use honey on top of my rice cakes for before prejudging and before finals or just as I'm about to step on stage. So I'll have to get some honey at Starbucks or something. And then I think that's pretty much it. But the good thing is that because my husband is flying tomorrow night separately, if I forget anything or think of anything that I missed during the day, he can bring it with him. So that is all for food. I feel pretty good about that. And then I will go upstairs and now tackle my luggage, which I'm not excited about, but at least I have this done. Okay, so leave it to me to leave packing to the last minute, as always, but I think I am ready to go with this mess here. I'm packing a little bit differently this time because I am doing my own hair and putting in my own extensions. So that's going to be a first for me, but I just never liked the way that they do my hair. And so I feel like it's a waste of money and I just want my hair simple. So I'm pretty sure I can do it myself. Hopefully that I can. I've never put in my clip-in extensions on my own, so I'm hoping it will go smoothly, but nonetheless, that's what's going to happen. So as usual, I just have all my clothes, all my lounge clothes. I have my tanning solution, puffs, and gloves, so my husband can tan me. If this is the first time watching my video, I do my own tan or my husband does my tan for me. He's done it probably for like the last 5 shows and I love it. Like I just love having the flexibility to do it in our own room at our own comfort and not have to like go down there and freeze and get tanned by the company. And it always turns out pretty good. So I have all my clothes, my tanning solution. I have my tennis shoes just in case I do go get a gym workout on Thursday. Usually I do mostly just like let out some energy. I have my exercise bands in here and I bring these down to the stage with me. So I just pump up and I have like the jump rope kind of band as well. So I use those to pump up. I Also have two pairs of heels, the ones that I wear, and then I have an extra pair just in case like anything happens with the one. I'm just always terrified like it's gonna break. You know, they're like cheap plastic shoes. So I've never had one break, but just cannot be too sure. So I have my pee funnel, which is critical, some face wipes, just like wipe tan and stuff off. I have my extensions, my curling iron, my brush. I have my almond butter. I decided to bring almond butter instead of peanut butter. I have my jewelry, like a bunch of different options in here. I have my robe that I'll wear over my suit. My suits in this little carry case, and I actually have my suit and then a backup suit as well, just in case something happens with my suit. But I'm excited because it'll be the first time I'm wearing my new blue suit, so I hope it looks good with the tan and on stage with the lights and everything. And then I have this like cocoon kind of sleeping sheet thing that I lay on the bed and then it like flips over so it covers me completely, and a black pillowcase. And then I have the blanket that Angel Competition Bikini sends with their suits, which is really nice because this is perfect for sitting backstage. And I think this is going to be a very long show, even though they're live streaming it, which I absolutely love because anytime they live stream a show, like I will literally be in my hotel room watching. And then as they get closer, I can head downstairs so I'm not like just sitting there for hours on end. So, and I'm staying at the host hotel, which is really nice. And then I have my tripod so I can take some check-in photos for my coach. And then I usually bring like a like continental carry-on sized suitcase that I put all of my show stuff in. But since I'm traveling alone and I don't want to bring like a regular suitcase plus my continental one to bring down backstage plus my food, it's just like a lot. So I'm just going to put everything in my regular suitcase, check it, and then I will bring just like this free Elo bag that you get. And I've had this backstage with me with like all my stuff before, so I'm just gonna put it in there and like I'm sure it'll be fine. And then I have a little flask full with some tequila because usually before prejudging, I like to just take a shot or two to help with the nerves, and I have a feeling I'm gonna need it this time. So that's basically it. So all of this is coming with me, and then I'll sort it out at the hotel to see what comes backstage and what doesn't. But better to have extra than not enough. That is the moral of the story. Oh, and I bring my red light therapy masks. I have one for my face and one for my neck, and so these will come with me. I like to use these like as often as possible. So after I shower, I will use these tonight and then I'll pack them with me so I can use tomorrow and then Thursday, and then it's just good to have. I like to use them as many times a week as I have time for. And that's it. I'm going to pack this all in my suitcase, and then I am actually going to take a Epsom salt bath, try to like bring down any inflammation that's in my body before I travel tomorrow, and probably go to bed very early. It's already almost 8 o'clock, so hopefully I'll be in bed by like 9 and then up at 4 to get everything, situated and to the airport in time for my flight. Hey guys, I am here in Jersey and made it to my hotel. Checked in a couple hours ago now. I have since eaten 2 meals, showered, prepped my body for my first coat of tan tonight, and took check-in photos and a check-in video for Anna, and I was feeling pretty good until then. I think seeing my check-in photos in this harsh light in this hotel room, I don't know, made me feel like not very confident in the physique that I'm bringing. And I'm feeling a little bit bummed about that, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like my glutes are not as conditioned, and I feel like my quads still look very dominant in my front pose. So, I don't know. I am definitely feeling a little stressed about it. I was like in a decent mood until I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I look like. Which is very different than like how I was seeing myself at home. So I don't know, that kind of bummed me out a little bit, but
I am going to get a good night's sleep tonight and hopefully wake up feeling better tomorrow. I don't have a scale here or a tape measure, so there will be no weight or measurements taken. I'm just going to have to hopefully, I don't know, be able to pump myself up or see what Anna says to pump me up. Usually, like, it doesn't help that much because I want to see myself, like I want to feel like I'm in my best body, in my best physique. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow is another day. Maybe with a coat of tan on, I'll feel a lot better. Actually, I'm hoping that that's the case. Like once I am tanned, I will feel leaner and more conditioned and tighter. But anyway, tomorrow I am at a gallon of water. So actually, no, tomorrow I am at a half gallon of water. So very little water tomorrow, which normally helps me tighten up. But will it be enough? I don't know. I also have some Expel that I might take tomorrow. It's like a diuretic to like help pull some of the water. I've not ever taken it before, but but I might just try it to see if I feel like I need it. So that's where I'm at. My husband flies in. He's taking the red eye and he gets here tomorrow morning, so I'll be happy to see him. And I don't know, just will be nice to have his support. He always pumps me up too. So that's about it. The hotel is nice. I'm about to head down and grab some water and check out the venue. There are divisions that are starting tomorrow. I think women's physique and figure, and I don't know if they have women's bodybuilding here. I can't remember. But anyway, the women's divisions are going tomorrow with exception of wellness and bikini. Then wellness and bikini will go on Friday, and then men will go on Saturday. So I'm just going to go walk around, check out the place a little bit, and see how it all looks. Anyway, hopefully tomorrow is a better day. But I mean, today's not a bad day, but hopefully tomorrow I'm feeling a lot more confident about myself. And, it just is what it is. I mean, not much I can do 2 days out, or really like a day and a half out. So we will see. But anyway, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow.
It's show day today, and I just got back from the athletes meeting. It was this morning at 7:45, and actually, I had my makeup appointment at 3:30 a.m. this morning, which was brutal. But I came back, slept for a few hours, and then got up to go to the meeting. And I feel very excited. The last couple days since I got here, I just felt like bloated, holding water in my head. This is a super packed show, probably the biggest and most competitive show I've ever done. So I think with that, just of course, comes nerves. But today I'm feeling really good. I know that it's going to be highly competitive, but at this point, like, I just feel really grateful for being able to be here, really grateful for my husband's support and my coach and all my friends who have been like reaching out and who are just so supportive. It makes my heart so happy. As cheesy as that sounds, it just, I don't know, I think focusing on what I'm grateful for, the fact that I'm even able to be here and be able to compete here, just I'm really happy about. So I think that the setup looks great, the stage looks great, and while we were in the meeting where it will be held, I was just looking at the stage thinking, I'm just going to bring my absolute best. And I know that I worked super hard, not just in this prep, but leading up to this point, to be able to compete with these athletes on this stage. And so I'm just going to bring my absolute best. And that's all I can do. And I'm excited for that. And I'm actually live streaming it now. Wellness is on. And in the Wellness 40A group, there were 22 competitors, and I think the open classes are even more stacked. So I know that in 40, which is what I'm competing again in, there will be probably 20 something competitors. So if I was able to get top 5 in that, like, that's a huge accomplishment. And if I'm not, if I'm second callouts or worse, then okay too. Well, then that means better qualified, better prepared athletes showed up who maybe, who maybe deserve it more than I do, which is going to be okay. At the end of the day, if I don't get first calls, if I don't get first place in my pro card, like my life still goes on and I'm still very blessed. So I have to just remind myself of that and like try to check my ego every chance I get. Once I check my ego, like everything gets so much better. So I'm just excited. I don't know what time we'll go on. It is, wellness has already started. I don't know. It's like after 9. And they have, I'm sure, a pretty stacked group. They're on 35 now. And then they have all the open classes. And then Bikini will go on. And there's like 60, there's 50, 40, 35, and then the open classes. So I will be in 40, I think like 40E. So there's a lot of 40, like 40 classes. And then I will be in open G, I believe. So definitely a lot of waiting once Bikini starts, but hopefully they move pretty efficiently. Downstairs, one of the girls said that she did a show last year and she was in one of the lower Bikini open classes, the taller ones, and she didn't go on stage till 4:15 for prejudging. But then another girl later said that she did this last year and she doesn't remember that late, that it was like maybe 11:30, 12. So who knows? I'm just going to be prepared. My makeup is ready. I need to do my hair. I'm going to put in my hair extensions myself for the first time ever and just curl it pretty basic. I just feel like that's going to be the look I'm most comfortable with. And I'm actually happy with my makeup. I just said like a natural bronze glam, and I think she did just that. I wanted a red lip, so she did it. It's been on since 3:30, so literally 6 hours, over 6 hours. So I'll do my lip over and like touch up a little bit because I've just been like sleeping and laying around, and I just feel like I'm going to need a refresh by the time I step on stage. So that is the plan. And since I'm live streaming, I'll head down there probably like when wellness is getting down into, I don't know how far they go down into heights, but probably I'll start putting my extensions in when they're like at group D and then head down like soon after. Do my final top coat and then head down soon after. So that's it. Wish me luck. I will report back as always and talk to you after prejudging.
300, Irina De La Rosa.
So I am back from the show, back from New Jersey. It is Monday, and I didn't record an update after prejudging on Friday, mostly because prejudging lasted 8 hours, and we had a very short window between prejudging and finals, but also because I wasn't really in the mood to record anything. I was just exhausted and over it. And so just to let you guys know how I did, it was not great. I did not make the top 10. And looking at the competition there, it was insane. It was the most competitive show I've ever done. And every single woman there in bikini absolutely looked amazing. Sometimes you go to shows and you can tell that people maybe undertrained or didn't diet for long enough, or maybe lost a bunch of weight and wanted to get on stage and sort of like highlight their new physique, but maybe didn't, maybe they don't look like, they're, I don't know how to say it to be nice, right? They just maybe don't look like they came to win. And this show, I did not see one single woman that looked like she did not work her ass off for years to win their pro card at that show. So I was in good company, even though I think I got like 13th out of like, I don't know, 19 or something. I forget. Everybody who was in that call out with me was amazing. Like I was in very good company. So I couldn't really be disappointed. And while like it was such a huge show, there was probably 300 bikini athletes, if not more. The judges did not stay afterwards to give feedback. They like booked it. granted, it was like very late day. They had women's other divisions the day before and men's the following day. So I don't blame them for not wanting to stick around. It would be never ending. But once I saw pictures that my husband took of just the different call outs, and I could absolutely see where I lost, and it was definitely from the glutes. For whatever reason, my body just was not responding this prep, and we did some things differently, but to be honest, like nothing that we did was that different that should have made my physique not come together. And it was, without seeing the pictures, just going into New Jersey, I knew this was the worst physique I was bringing. It just was. And while I didn't expect to do so terribly, I don't think I had really an expectation. I was just hopeful. I can absolutely see that my body was just not conditioned enough. And also, I don't know, my glutes just, I lost from the back. Like my glutes just were not there. My tie-ins were not there. And I'm sure it's because I didn't lean out as much. And also, I've basically been working on this I started my first prep exactly 3.5 years ago. And I haven't given my body enough time to like really build and develop muscle. We made some great changes, but nothing near what the competition was coming to the stage with. So I can absolutely see that my glutes need a ton of work. So, how do I feel about placing what I would consider terribly, a little dramatic, but terribly at this show? Like, not sad at all. Of course, I'm disappointed. Not sad at all. Not embarrassed because of the level of competition that I was on stage with. Phenomenal. And I feel like nothing was lost and a lot of perspective and a lot of insight was gained. And so I feel really grateful for coming to the show and for the result to be what it was, to be able to gain this insight and walk away knowing what I need to do and where I need to be in order to be competitive on the national stage. So, I mentioned that this prep was really hard. I just felt terrible. But even more than that, like 8 or 9 weeks ago now, a good friend of mine died after a diagnosis 6 months earlier. And after I returned from that funeral, I just was feeling like, I don't want to say over it, but I was feeling really like introspective about what competing and prep takes for me to do successfully. And there is a ton of sacrifice. If anybody's ever prepped before, you know this, like a ton of sacrifice in all areas of your life. And I came back from that funeral feeling like I don't want to sacrifice the small things in life anymore. I think I might be done competing soon because, my husband doesn't work out whatsoever. He's not into health, he's not into fitness. And so while he is the most supportive husband and he always has been that way, it's kind of like I lead this life and he then leads his life, goes golfing and goes on guys trips and like does stuff like that. And I cannot do most things, even if we love getting on our beach cruisers and like riding around the beach. Historically, maybe we'd stop for like a cup of coffee or stop for a glass of rosé or stop for some lunch or dinner or whatever. And like, we don't get to do that kind of stuff. Like just little stuff, like, I don't know. There's just, while I don't want this life of like drinking and partying, of course, like that's not what I'm saying. Like being able to enjoy the little things in life, I've missed. And my friend passing really like put that into perspective. And so I came back from that funeral and actually told Anna, I said, I think I'm going to be done competing. Like after this year, I just want to get back to like living my life. That feeling lasted probably a week or two. And then I kind of got over it because I was in the throes of prep and I was like, okay, focus on the goal. And then a couple weeks ago, my dog passed away and it was very sudden. One day she wasn't eating and I called the vet to make an appointment for her the next day. And we woke up to her labored breathing at like 1 a.m. and got up. He took her immediately to the ER and she had cardiac arrest in my lap and died on the way to the vet. So we were literally home by like 1:45 a.m. And I know it's just a dog. Of course, we love her. We were very sad, and that's not to say like that it made me contemplate life, but that was just like something that traumatic that was traumatic that happened into my prep. And it's just like, so I guess I say all this to say, I don't know, my focus just hasn't been, my, my focus has been there 110%. I have done absolutely everything like I've always done. I haven't missed a thing, not a cheat on my diet, not a second of cardio, not one single workout, not one rep. All of that has been super consistent. What's missing is that my heart hasn't been in it. And having this outcome at this national show really was what I needed in order to say, okay, I need a break from competing. Like, I need a proper year, not just for muscle development, but just for my mental, I don't want to say mental health because that's not suffering, but just to find the love again and the passion again for wanting to be competitive and wanting to do all the things and make all the sacrifices. And had I done well at this show, even if my heart wasn't in it, I would have just kept powering through to the national masters nationals in November. And then maybe do the December show if I was close to, if I was getting closer and really wanted to push for my pro card. And I just know that that would not have been the right thing for me. But now that I did so poorly at this show and I see how much I need to grow, and being a 43-year-old natural athlete, like, that doesn't happen overnight. Like, I need time, no question. It's really clear that now is a time I need to take off of competing. And I literally could not be happier. Like, I feel like I'm restarting my life again since being back. I feel so ecstatic. Like, it's just the opportunities, the potential of like living life not surrounded by like my food or what time I need to eat or measuring everything out or not eating to eat anything that I didn't cook myself. And while that sounds like little things, I mean, if you're social, like, that's hard. And, we don't have kids, so we're out and about and like our friends are our lives. And, not being able to participate in a lot is really hinders not the friendship, but my ability to do anything. So I'm home a lot if I'm not at the gym, and I'm missing that part of my life. So I know this is a long-winded update, but I just could not be any happier with the decision to take some time off. And I think that I've literally been in prep for 3.5 years since the very first prep in February of 2021 when I turned 40 is the first time I ever started prep, ever competed that June. And I'd basically been in prep the entire 3.5 years in one way or another. And so the fact that now I'm just going to have some freedom feels very liberating and much needed. So I love competing and I love everything about prep when my heart and my head are in it. So I don't think I'm done for good, but I definitely welcome a little bit of a break to focus on some other stuff. So I love running. I love doing marathons and half marathons. So I think for the rest of this year, I might just like pick up training for a half marathon that I love in San Diego that's in January. Maybe just do that with my husband because he doesn't really work out, but he will run every now and then. So that might be something fun to do together. But we're going to Greece this week. And while I was going to be off anyway, when we come back, it's just, I would have had to start prep again for November. And so I feel really happy not to have to do that. I feel like almost like my life is starting over again, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really stupid, but that's kind of how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm restarting. And our 10-year anniversary is in September. I would have been on prep, so we weren't planning to do anything. But now, like, the possibilities are endless. And so I just feel this really like immense freedom and gratitude that everything worked out the way that it did. Of course, I want my pro card. Of course, I wanted to do well at nationals, and maybe that is still in my future. But right now, I know the right thing for me is to take a little bit of a break. So, and I love that too for me to be able to push in the gym and do all the fun exercises. I have a lot of glute growth that I think I need in terms of not like glute size, but just like muscle density, which that takes a lot of time. And I'm not going to take PEDs. I refuse, especially at this point in my life. There's no, like, I don't see the point. but I am actually going to start some peptide therapy. So I've done like a bunch of research, although, there's all this kind of data and a lot of it is sort of anecdotal, but I'm going to start a peptide and just for my overall health and sleep, energy, fatigue, that kind of thing. So I'm excited about that. I'll probably start that when I come back from Greece. And then I also need to get my thyroid in order. I met with my endocrinologist like the week before peak week, so a couple weeks ago. And even though I was like hardcore dieting, she's like, I'll take that into consideration, but let's do your blood work. And my thyroid came back still needing a lot of work. And so I am just excited to now reverse diet and get myself into a healthy state. So when we retest again in September, we have a really accurate baseline of how my thyroid is doing. So I'm looking forward to just getting really healthy and eating foods that I haven't eaten in a long time. I'm definitely not going to go off the rails. I've never been a person to like go off the rails and just like eat whatever I want. So it has nothing to do with that, but I will gain a healthy amount of weight. I will have some drinks, especially as we go to Greece. And, it's summertime. So a lot of like happy hours or like different outdoor activities that I just want to engage in. And so I'll probably gain a healthy amount of weight, but I'm going to try to keep it lean just because that's how I feel most comfortable. But I'm okay with like a little bit of a weight gain. It's fine. And plus, as a woman, like I like to have a little bit of, of course I like to be stage lean. I like that look, but I like to have like a little bit of weight. I don't know, like a little bit of something. So that's really it. I just wanted to update you guys. I will take you through my reverse diet. I definitely want to let you guys know how that's going. I'd like to share also how the peptide therapy is going because I feel like there's not a whole lot out there. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to work for me, and I'll share all the details on that. So stay tuned for a reverse diet update. But right now I've reversed myself to about 1,500 calories, which feels like a lot, to be honest. I'm very satisfied there. Still kind of tracking, weighing my food. Oh, this is interesting too. I was thinking about myself pre-competing, and I was so free before then in terms of like nutrition. I never weighed my food. I never counted calories. I never used my fitness pal. I never felt like bloated or like I was holding water. Like it was so liberating to just be like naive. But I ate relatively healthy and then ate what I wanted when I didn't want to be healthy. Like I was not necessarily restricted, but I didn't like, eat a bunch of shit. I was probably like 70-30, 70 very healthy, 30 eating, whatever I want and drinking wine. And I was thinking about that. And so the other day I was making some food on a plate and I had it all already in my fitness pal of what my food was going to be and the weight and how much of everything I was eating. So I put on a plate and I just put like some mahi on there. I put some veggies and I put some sweet potato fries that I had made, like just what I wanted to eat, not like what I had already measured out in my fitness pal, but like what right then I wanted to eat. And it was actually a lot less than what I had in my fitness pal, what I had already weighed out for my macros. So I really want to get back to like that intuitive eating, not like structuring everything out so specifically, because I feel like when you do put it in my fitness pal and you are going by that, sometimes you're maybe eating more than you would otherwise. And honestly, I don't want to like force anything. I just really want to get back to my intuition and get back to that freedom of being able to listen to my body and trust myself to make the good decisions. So, anyway, I just thought that was an interesting insight from that. So, that is all. I am getting ready to pack. We're heading to Greece for 12 days with a bunch of friends for my husband's birthday, and I could not be more excited. And I just, for anybody who's like watched these prep series videos, thank you so much for your love and support, because you guys really do build me up. And it just is nice to know we have a community that understands each other and that, shares experiences so that we feel like we're not alone and also maybe gain some insight too. So this is not goodbye forever for the prep series. It's goodbye for now, but I will absolutely update you guys in this prep series with the reverse dieting and the peptides and anything else that's prevalent in terms of my training program or anything that comes up, or maybe even a change of heart and I get back into competing after the new year. But I'll take you guys along with me as I always do. But thank you for always tuning in. And if you are competing this year, best of luck.